Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and today we're at the Longacre Theater in New York City talking to George Takei and the cast of Allegiance. Get ready for a great day behind the velvet rope.
My fellow Americans, give me your tire, your poor, your homes, your businesses, your money. Just mark yes to questions 27 and 28, and I will let you stay right here in the Heart Mountain Relocation Resort. Desert, swamp, or dusty waste, they say location's key. Sure, you shiver in this icebox, but cheer up, the rent is free, and we all love to freeze in line for soggy bowls of rice. Just put up and shut up, 'cause you're in paradise. Is everybody happy? Yeah! Tough.
Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. I remember interviewing you, George Takei, for your documentary, and you were telling me Allegiance, San Diego. I hope I can get this to Broadway. Guess what? We're talking on Broadway and Allegiance is here. How crazy is that?
I thought back then in San Diego, it would happen immediately, imminently. But there was that interregnum of 3 years, and we used those 3 years to polish and tweak and make it even better. And here we are in this beautiful Longacre Theater in technical rehearsals. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. It's an important story, and we tell it with music and with joy and with engaging production numbers because, it took a lot of resilience on the part of the Japanese Americans to survive in those camps. And a measure of that resilience is the ability to find joy and romance and love.
How unreal is it to have it here in New York?
It's just the most amazing thing. It's been a dream for, I think, the entire creative team to get the show on a Broadway stage in a Broadway theater. And now that it's actually happening, everybody's over the moon. Everyone in the cast, the creative team, everybody backstage. Everybody just feels like, oh my gosh, so many dreams are coming true. We're actually doing this documentary called Trek to Broadway, and at the end of the first part of it, when Jay Quo, our composer and lyricist and one of the book writers, tells Mark Aceto, who's one of our other book writers, tells him that we have a theater, we have the Longacre. Mark's glasses start to steam up and he starts to cry and he says, I wasn't expecting for dreams to come true when I walked through the door. And then I started tearing up while watching it. And so many dreams are coming true.
It's such a personal story for George. Talking about telling it.
Well, I was so drawn to this project because it was a personal story for George, but I also think it's such an American story. It is uniquely American in that, the Kimuras, they are of Japanese descent, but they are from Salinas, California, and they're as American as they can be. And because of one event that happened in history, people looked at their skin color and they saw, maybe where their relatives were from, and all of a sudden they were looked upon as not American. And I think, it's a wonderful show, I think, that kind of says, listen, America, there are many faces to America, and America has, looks a lot of different ways, and that's kind of the beauty of this country. And so I think that really is at the core of what the show is about.
Each and every day in rehearsal, he'll come up with another story about his youth, about what he went through, the relationship he had with his father and his family at the time. And it makes it that much more real for us. It's not just words on a page. It's not just notes in a libretto. It's real life that we're talking about here. And that's what sort of, fuels our rehearsals, We're not just, we're not playing dress up. We're sort of representing real people, real experiences, real history. And so that responsibility is something, we sort of all put upon our shoulders and sort of run with. It's really exciting.
When you see this story, it's a story that a lot of people don't know. Having that extra ability to tell this story has got to be so important as a performer.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the fact that George is with us every day, we have this unique insight into this era of history that a lot of people don't know anything about, and so that definitely makes it exciting for us.
George Takei is probably just such an incredibly sweet person. Everyone immediately, he's exactly what you expect him to be, which is not always the case when you meet stars. I mean, he is just he makes you feel important. He just takes you in. And his story, I mean, I remember the first day of rehearsal, everyone there, he brought all the act, and he told his story to the point where he goes to tears and just bawling. And I mean, if you can't like get behind that, I mean, really this sweet, wonderful person, and to hear his story told, it's really quite an experience to be part of something that really is very poignant and even to today's standard, very timely.
Such an important story and an undertold story, so being able to tell it, it's got to be great.
Well, you know, it's so bizarre when you think about it. It's a story that has never been told in the history of a Broadway musical. Never, ever been told. And so with that, there's a lot of responsibility for all of us to be able to, in telling this story for the very first time, to really put our best foot forward and to be able to, respect the, 120,000 Japanese Americans that were interned during that time. You know, George's experience as a young person in the camps, my father who was interned up in Canada during the same period of time. So it's important for us to get it right, and I think what's been so great is that we've had from our Old Glow production, which happened in 2012, 3 years to continue to mine the material, work on the material, throw out some songs, write some new ones, and just get the script and the score to that kind of pristine place that we can share on the Great White Way.